What's going on, guys? It's your boy the Cash Critic here, and this time around, nope, you guessed correctly. As you can see on my screen, it is not a New World video. We're talking about old school RuneScape. Yeah, you heard that right. It's been a while. It's been probably three or 4 months since I talked about this whatsoever. So we're definitely in for a treat on this one. And they just revealed a roadmap for 2023, as you can see on my screen, with a lot going on. The Secrets of the North, official account builds, Bounty Hunter, Forestry, the Way of the Forester, Desert Treasure 2, the Fallen Empire, and the fact that they're actually going ahead and voting for a new skill, right? That's what they're looking for. So this is your time, right? You want to go ahead and play old school RuneScape? Play old school RuneScape. Listen to me in the background. Do your dishes, do your laundry, drop the phone, walk away. This is for me to let you know what's going on and just for you to listen. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this content, make sure to hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and share with a friend. Let's just jump right into it and see what we got in store for us, guys. All right, guys. Like I said, Winter Summit 2022 roadmap reveal. They did release a video of this as well. The link will be in the description down below for the official site of Old School RuneScape, so that way you can read this and just watch the videos too. So just keep that in mind if you want to actually go ahead and do that yourself as well, as I won't be going through all the in-depth details. Like I said, this is going to be the summary overview from the official website as well. And you can see from the roadmap revealed, just like I stated earlier, right, we have Secrets of the North, right? This is January 11th. 2023, where it begins. Official account builds, which is super exciting to hear as well. Bounty Hunter of spring of 2023. They're giving us a little something in between. The Forestry, the Way of the Forester, mid 2023, and then Desert Treasure 2, the Fallen Empire, summer of 2023. And then of course this very last one, as you can see, new skill, vote now. So make sure you do go ahead and vote as well to get that new skill going. And let me know in the comments down below what you hope the new skill would be as well, just because obviously there's a lot of skills. Not a lot of people like some major changes to old school RuneScape. The people that actually play the game are really diehard fans of just the way it is, right? This is how they kept the community. This is how they kept that same player base going, and this is how they've kept for years, since 2007 really, when this kind of update of old school RuneScape came to fruition, stayed all the way through this year, right? 2022, and here we still are talking about it. So let's go ahead, let's jump into it, and let's see what's going on. So if you're reading this, it means you just finished watching the Winter Summit, which if you're watching this video or listening to this video, that means you haven't even done that. So that's why I'm here, to help you guys out. Or you missed it and you're here to catch up. For those of you who tuned in, thanks for watching. We hope you're as excited as we are all about the cool content coming next year. If you were one of the naughty little elves who missed the live show, you can check out the VOD on Twitch or on YouTube. Link coming soon, but I'll have that in the description for you guys. You'll also notice a handful of poll questions artfully sprinkled through this blog in accordance with our swanky new poll charter. A lot these are green light questions, which just gives us permission to start working on the things we spoke about during the summit. For example, there's a poll live right now asking whether you like us to add a new skill to the game. Be sure to cast your vote before it closes. As for questions in this blog, they'll go live on December 20th. So get these votes, fingers ready. All right, so just keep that in mind, guys. December 20th, they'll go live for the questions in the blog. So new skill, hot topic, very hot topic for old school RuneScape. Well, we have to open with evening's biggest mic drop moment. We're hoping to bring a new skill to old school RuneScape, and I want you to help design it. As we mentioned above, there's a poll live right now where you can cast your vote, and an entire blog laying out exactly what we'd like to approach the design. It features a helpful breakdown of each polling stage en route to launch, and a video explainer featuring our very own mod, Aiza, to bring you up to speed. You can click the button below to go right to the blog, so you can obviously go ahead and click this hyperlink to get to the actual blog post itself. Please do have a read through the blog before casting your vote, and feel free to hop on Reddit, Discord, Twitter, or the official forums to join the discussion. So super exciting stuff, right guys? New skill to be announced. I wonder what it's going to be. I'm not exactly sure. And as I said earlier, drop a comment down below on what you would want to see a new skill to be, or if you don't even want a new skill, and just leave it the way it is. So let me know. So the first update here Desert Treasure 2, The Fallen Empire. So we've been paving the way for this Grandmaster quest for almost 2 years with Below Ice Mountain, Temple of the Eye, the Garden of Death, and in the not too distant future, Secrets of the North. So they've been planning this out for quite some time, as they stated, 2 years. Those of you who remember Desert Treasure may recall trapezing across all of Galenor to find 4 diamonds, 1 for each of the ancient elements: blood, ice, shadow, and smoke, guarded by 4 fearsome foes. Yep. So you had 4 quests to pave the way, introducing 4 new areas to explore. You'd best be prepared to fight 4 ferocious new bosses if you have even the faintest hope of uncovering the secrets beneath the Caridian Desert. For taking the Whisperer, Duke Sisulis, Vardavarus, and the Leafithanian, you will gain access to Old School's first ever alternative prayer book, the Ruinous Powers. Wow, okay. Now, it's still a little bit too early to go into specifics, but we can tell you that we plan to work with the community to devise a powerful new set of prayers. Whole new set of prayers, guys. You will have to weigh up the familiarity of the prayers you know and love against the thrill of tapping into forces best left forgotten. Some of you may be familiar with ancient curses, which were added to RuneScape in 2009. While there are bound to be some similarities thematically, we want to make it clear that ruinous powers are not curses, and that we have no plans to add the ancient curses to Old School. Instead, we want to collaborate with our community to fully realize the ruinous powers together. Still not satisfied? Fortunately, they've got more for you guys, right? So, not to toot our own horn, but the bosses for the quest are awesome. So we'd like to give you the opportunity to vote on whether you like the Whisperer, Duke Sicilius, Vardavarus, and the Leviathan. Cannot pronounce this for the life of me, I apologize, guys. To be unlocked as repeatable bosses after the quest is complete. The Fearsome Foursome would come bundled in some exciting new uniques to be determined at a later date with your help, including the iconic Virtuous Robes. While it's still early stages and we haven't locked down our designs, it's worth remembering this is a Grandmaster quest, so just keep that in mind, guys. If you face Galvic or the Fragment of Saren, you'll know how tough they can be, and we plan to make these ancient horrors even tougher. So this is definitely going to be a very, very strenuous, a very challenging quest, as if Old School RuneScape isn't already, but they're going to make it even harder for you guys and for myself, right? Think you've got what it takes? Well, here are the requirements, just to make sure. Now, we all love requirements, quest requirements in order to get this completed. You need Desert Treasure 1, Secrets of the North, Inakura's Lament, Temple of the Eye, the Garden of Death, and lastly, Below Ice Mountain. Now, the skill requirements, unconfirmed, but you can expect requirements in multiple skills, one of them being prayer. So just keep that in mind too. While not a hard requirement, we'd recommend a combat level of 100. So this is definitely a quest towards end game players, so just keep that in mind. Now, rewards. 5 quest points, a lamp offering 100,000 prayer experience, the Ruinous Powers, the ability to repeat the 4 bosses encountered during the quest for unique rewards, and that is the rewards list for this quest. I definitely go ahead and expect to see some very, very good loot drops from these 4 bosses, especially the fact that they're really emphasizing how dangerous and how powerful and possibly how strenuous these 4 bosses could be. So expect to see real good loot come from these bosses. Now, you will see here there's poll questions that they actually went ahead and lined up. So the very first poll question: should Desert Treasure 2, the Fallen Empire Grandmaster quest in the Magyar storyline be added to the game? Poll question 2: if Desert Treasure 2, the Fallen Empire is added to the game, should the 4 bosses encountered in the quest be unlocked as repeatable bosses upon quest completion? If this question passes, there will be a separate poll at a later date to determine the drops for these bosses. And poll question 3: if Desert Treasure 2, the Fallen Empire is added to the game, should completion of the quest unlock access to the Ruinous Powers, a new prayer book? If this question passes, there will be a separate poll at a later date to determine the new prayers included in this book. So very exciting stuff, guys. And I love the fact that they always do polls, and they're so communicative with the community to make sure it lives up to the standards that they want and the players want to. So, Secrets of the North. Now, while we don't have anything more to pull for Secrets of the North, we can share a few tidbits of information. For starters, you can start uncovering the titular secrets for yourself on January 11th, 2023. In the meantime, you want to make sure that you met all the requirements listed below. So the quest requirements: making friends with my arm. The second one, the General Shadow, Devious Minds, Hazel Cult, are all the quest requirements in order to get this one done. Now the skill requirements, they have the official skill requirements here, which is nice, is 69 agility, 64 thieving, 56 hunter, and they would just recommend for you to be a combat level 85 or higher. And here are the rewards for your troubles, as they like to say. The rewards are 2 quest points, 60,000 experience for agility, 50,000 experience for thieving, 40,000 experience for a hunter. Access to a repeatable solo only boss. So no group bossing to repeat. It's going to be solo. Now, speaking of rewards, we have a confession to make. Amidst all the mystery, we may have been a little sneaky when we pulled some of them. After all, we couldn't let you know how ancient this quest was going to be. Interesting. So here's the list of rewards you voted for in November of 2022 alongside their actual in-game names. You will notice that the Saturated Heart is absent, and that's because its name is unchanged. As a reminder, these rewards are all dropped by the repeatable solo-only Phantom boss that you'll unlock after completing the quest. So Phantom Essence, Ancient Essence, Bloodletter Shards and Bow, Venator Shards and Bow, Soulblade Icon and Scepter is now Ancient Icon and Scepter, and Magister's Brew is now Forgotten Brew. So that's cool to see. Now the next update, which will ultimately be for the 2023 roadmap, of course, since we're going through it, is Bounty Hunter. Okay, so they're bringing back Bounty Hunter. So there's quite a lot to say. So the devs feel as though it's a high time we made good on our promise to revive the fast-paced PvP minigame, which has existed in one form or another throughout Old School's 10-year lifespan. You'll notice that we're not seeking a green light for Bounty Hunter itself. However, since we've promised to bring it back. However, we plan to involve the community in several rounds of polling to get the final content just right. We want to work with all of you to build something that disincentivizes shady behavior while rewarding players who engage with the content in good faith in the hopes of returning this much maligned minigame to its former glory. For those not in the know, Bounty Hunter pits players who fancy a spot of PvP action against others of similar combat levels with similar amounts of wealth at stake. So you step into an arena, get assigned your bounty, and you ultimately just hunt them down. Now, killing your bounty acts like any other PvP kill. However, you will get whatever items they weren't protecting, plus an extra reward for dispatching your target, which is awesome to see. Now, Bounty Hunter occupies a special place for those of you who feel like traditional edge-style PvP has been displaced by no honor and Outlast PvP interactions. For Bounty Hunter, we want to put the fast-paced, reset-heavy style you know and love at the forefront so that people taking their first tentative steps towards brutally murdering their fellow players aren't starting out at the deep end. Now, also in the summit, they did propose bringing back Bounty Hunter craters. These first appeared in RuneScape in 2007, bundled with the removal of wilderness PvP. Fortunately for PKers, we're not planning to block PvP everywhere else this time, and the addition of craters will not massively change the overworld map of the wilderness. So that's good. That's also good to hear. Now, while they won't look the same or be in the same location as previous craters, they'll functionality be the same thing. The key takeaway is that we're separating combat brackets into zones. Players must choose to enter. This makes Bounty Hunter as opt-in gets, which frees us up to get experimental with the content in ways we haven't in past. While any and all rewards will be determined by community consultation and various rounds of polling, we want to reward would-be bounty hunters or pesky rogues with rewards in line with the ancient warrior equipment you know from Last Man Standing, Dead Man mode, or the 2008 release of PvP Worlds in RuneScape. We want the reward system to feel worthwhile for actively engaged PKers without incentivizing gold farmers to ruin everyone else's fun. In doing so, we might just open up the account builds that haven't been seen since the earliest days of old school RuneScape. Could this be the glorious return of 20 defense accounts? So that's definitely going to be extremely interesting. As you can tell from this specific update, I'm very glad they're doing this. It's really just geared towards PvP content, which is awesome. Just for this portion, at least. Which is really good to see that they're bringing back Bounty Hunter. Now, also, emblems and kill streaks are also key elements, allowing players to opt in to extra risk and challenge themselves to rack up rewards before cashing out. We're looking forward to exploring exactly how the system will work in the coming weeks. The long and the short of it is this update will bring back the same Bounty Hunter you know and love, but better. So that's awesome. So keep that in mind, that's Bounty Hunter. Now, Forestry, the way of the Forester, there's a little video here that you can watch as well. After all the bloodshed detailed above, which is what we just went over, something more encouraging. Now, introducing Forestry, a wood cutting expansion. Guys, I love wood cutting, so this is something I'm very excited about. And it's obviously going to make me want to play and even create more content for you guys. So introducing Forestry, a wood cutting expansion that will see you interacting with Gillinor's flora and fauna in ways you've never seen before. Forestry aims to make woodcutting a more social experience by removing resource competition, introducing new events, and expanding the skill's economic offerings. Best of all, every one of these features can be found out in the wild on every part of the map. Where there are trees, there's forestry, so that's great to see. So to get started, you will pick up Forestry Kit from none other than the Freaky Forester himself. Then while cutting trees, you'll have the chance to encounter a forestry event, chasing away poachers, culling the pheasant population, rehoming bees, or even giving a friendly tree ant a stylish haircut. So that's actually pretty cool. Now, I like the fact that you're not just sitting there and cutting a tree. Like as simple as the skill is, right? And the gist of it is woodcutting. I like the fact that they're taking this a little bit more in depth with of more style, of more interaction, of more socialization with the playthrough too. So that's nice. You may also encounter the forest's more mysterious inhabitants who may just be inclined to hand over special rewards for helping them maintain their home. Rewards and XP from Forestry will scale with woodcutting levels so that players can play together at any level without missing out. We'll also adjust tree despawning so that grouping up is no longer punished and perhaps even give bonuses when more people are cutting the same tree. So that's awesome, guys. The same tree. Same tree, you're going to get even more rewards, all right? Rewards including leaves, a new resource actually, so new resource alert, including leaves, a new resource that you'll collect alongside logs and use to build special foresters' campfires or brew fancy artisanal teas packed with healthy nutrients and buffs. What about those economic offerings we mentioned? We like to introduce a new forestry currency that can be used along with logs of all tiers to purchase unique rewards and components for your forestry kit. If you're already well stocked, you'll be able to sell these components to other players. And if you're especially good at other production or gathering skills, you can make them for yourself and sell them on for profit. Obviously, you want to work with the community to refine the more unique rewards, but we have a handful of ideas to start with, including an equipable log basket, two-handed axes, okay, I see a little bit New World here, two-handed axes, a bee box for your player-owned house, and perhaps even a way to obtain lumberjack outfit without hanging around a stinking swamp for hours on end. That is what I like to hear as well, guys. That's awesome. So be sure to check that out. They do have a poll question. So poll question number 4 is, should Forestry, Way of the Forester, a social focus expansion to core woodcutting, be added to the game? If this question passes, all of the details will be worked through and polled separately via community consultation. So I like the fact also that with this roadmap being announced, they're also just giving the community the option to vote for it too, to make sure that this roadmap is something they really do want to go with. So I'm expecting this to be subject to change, ultimately relying on the community feedback. Now, official account builds. This is phenomenal. Every MMO needs official account builds, and I love this. So let's go into it. Since the earliest days of old school RuneScape, there have been players who go against the grain, eschewing petty trifles like gear and killing things more good in favor of building 10 HP accounts, never moving past 1 defense, and taking on all manner of other existing challenges. In late 2014, we officially supported an alternative playstyle for the first time with the introduction of Iron Man mode. Now, 8 years later, we want to give players even more power to customize their experience and play old school their way. We like to add official support for alternative playstyles, whether you are a relatively newbie who just loves skilling or a dedicated one defense pure who's gone almost a decade without gaining experience. You'll soon be able to opt into our official account build system and show the world what you're made of. Now, players of all game modes will be allowed to add restrictions. If you and your friends want to try your hand at an official 10 HP hardcore group Ironman challenge, you'll be able to. Initially, we want to restrict combat skills and support 10 HP pures, level 3 pures, and 1 defense pures. You'll still be able to customize your account in all kinds of wacky ways with a range of combat-based options to choose from. And you can see in the image here below, you can actually filter out some options with the game mode settings for modifiers, and primary modes too. Mode modifiers and primary modes to actually go ahead and check off what you want to actually have locked in. Now, restricted accounts will work just like unrestricted accounts. So, with one crucial difference, they cannot make gains in content they've restricted from. So this applies backwards too. You can't opt into the system if you've already gained experience beyond the restrictions you've chosen. So for example, if your account still has only 10 hit points, but 99 in every other skill, you will still be able to choose the 10 HP pure restriction. Now, no matter what hijinks you get up to, you'll be unable to receive experience in the hit point skill. Yes, this means what you think it does. A skilling pure could avoid claiming the prayer XP reward from Priest and Peril and gain access to Mutena at level 3. If you realize that the restriction life is not for you, you can always just opt out. So although you will regain all the XP you avoided as soon as you do, just be careful. Because we're tracking XP you would have gained regardless of whether you take it or not. We're also able to spot the purists among you who've never broken their restrictions regardless of how tempting Swamp Full of Ghouls looks from over the fence, right? So by adding support for official account builds, we hope to remove access limitations and allow players to show off their commitment with new chat icons, outfits, and high scores. We've seen what official support can do for niche playstyles in the past, and we're excited to help a new crop of communities flourish under the old school RuneScape banner. So poll question number 5. Should official account builds and opt-in system for players to officially restrict their accounts and various skills be added to the game? If this question passes, you know the deal. There will be a separate poll later at the date. Now, the very last one is a tech update. So outside of the in-game content, just strictly tech. And this is something I'm excited about, especially for Jagex, right? Now, they're not going to go in depth with it. However, they did want to just go ahead and state, outside of in-game content, we spoke about a raft of updates relating to Jagex's account and improved security alongside server and gameplay stability improvements. We're not going to get into that in this blog, but you can learn more about them in this clip from the summit. Also, and with that, we've fully wrapped the 2022 Winter Summit. As you can tell, we're extremely excited for the first half of 2023, including a bunch of stuff we haven't mentioned, like the Wilderness Boss rework. So just keep that in mind too, right? Because this is a roadmap, and I think a lot of people get confused on this. This isn't every single update that they're doing for the game for the year. This roadmap is more so the updates that are going to make a very, very large impact, with them also hiding a lot of stuff on their end. So that way there's still surprises throughout the year, right? And this goes with every game, not just old school RuneScape. It could be any kind of game that releases a roadmap. Those are the more definitive, more of their higher, bigger releases and announcements, while still having many updates throughout the year too. So keep that in mind. But it's not time to go into hibernation just yet. Now that you've read the blog, we need to get your skates on. You need to get your skates on and head to the polls on December 20th, when you will be able to cast your vote on everything you've just read about. Remember to vote in the current poll too to have your say on a new skill. So guys, that's a lot to unpack, a lot to uncover. Like I said, like I repeat myself, I'm going to go ahead and add the official website down below in the description so you can click on that hyperlink to actually go ahead, watch the videos if you want, read through it more thoroughly as well, and go ahead and see if this is something that you're truly excited about. So It's your boy, the Cash Critic. As always, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and share with a friend as well. And remember, if you guys love this content, be sure to let me know in the comments down below as well. So it's your boy, the Cash Critic. Peace.